19. Overview. This is the organizational status of the federal intelligence function on the eve of America's bicentennial. Footnote. This study does not purport to present an exhaustive scenario of intelligence agencies, but is sought to include the principal entities which have been or continue to be involved in intelligence operations. Agencies not discussed here, but which do conceivably contribute information relevant to the intelligence matters, include the United States Information Agency, which maintains numerous overseas offices, the Agency for International Development, with missions in Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America, and the Department of Agriculture, which has attachés in United States embassies. For an overview of the chronological development of the principal federal intelligence entities, see Appendix 1. End footnote. Institutional permanence did not appear within this sphere of government operations until almost a decade and a half before the turn of the present century. For a variety of reasons, inexperience, scarce resources, lack of useful methodology, failure to apply available technology, and a leadership void, a functionally effective intelligence structure probably did not exist within the federal government until the United States was plunged into World War II. And what observations might be offered regarding the current intelligence community organization? An outstanding characteristic of the contemporary intelligence structure is its pervasiveness. There are a panoply of federal agencies with clearly prescribed intelligence duties or a reasonable potential for such functioning. One authority recently estimated that 10 major intelligence entities maintain a staff of 153,250 individuals on an annual budget of $6,228 million. Such statistics provide some indication of the size of the immediate intelligence community within the federal government, but of course ignores the commitment of sources to intelligence efforts, on one hand by front groups, proprietary organizations, and informers, and on the other hand by sub-national government agencies and other federal entities, such as Department of Agriculture overseas attachés, National Aeronautics and Space Administration satellite launching systems, and the products of the National Weather Service. With these additional components identified, the pervasive nature of the intelligence organization begins to become more apparent. It might also be argued that the intelligence community exhibits an organizational tendency toward clusters of centralized leadership. Overseas intelligence operations leadership has been concentrated in the Director of Central Intelligence. Armed Forces intelligence leadership has been concentrated in the Chief of the Defense Intelligence Agency. Armed Forces cryptological leadership has been concentrated in the head of the National Security Agency, Central Security Service. A propensity for further unifying these leadership capacities may be seen in the example of Dr. Henry Kissinger, when serving as Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs, Chief of Staff, National Security Council, and to some degree in the case of the White House intelligence functionaries during the Nixon administration. While the coordination of intelligence activities is a desirable goal in government efficiency, the centralization of intelligence leadership can pose threats to civil liberties. Finally, as the federal intelligence organization has grown, there appears to be a tendency toward the confusion of the purposes of intelligence operations. Many intelligence institutions, past and present, functioned without an explicit statutory mandate for their activities. More consideration might be given to the relationship between domestic intelligence and law enforcement responsibilities. Intelligence units have been organized to spy on citizens and sometimes harass them, seemingly without any regard as to whether or not illegal behavior might be detected. Also, entities established to enforce the laws domestically have become enamored on occasion with intelligence pursuits which bear little significance to their primary law enforcement duty. The Constitution of the United States continues to guarantee the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searchers and seizures. The Federal Intelligence Organization has the capacity to significantly enhance and support that right, or to manifest itself as one of the cruelest detractors of that tenet of American government. Vigilance on the part of the citizenry as to encroachments upon its rights and liberties is an utmost necessity for the preservation of a meaningful democracy. Yet, public confidence in the state tolerates a condition of official secrecy with regard to almost every aspect of intelligence activity. Institutional reliance upon the fullest commitment of the intelligence community to the preservation and realization of the constitutionally guaranteed rights of the people is the necessary consequence. Endowed with its special privilege of operational secrecy, the Federal Intelligence Organization, in any violation of its pledge of service to the citizenry, can expect to elicit a prohibitive punishment from the polity, for it has, of course, a unique potential to execute the ultimate breach of trust, the demise of the demos itself. January 1st, 1976, Washington, D.C. This is Our Hidden History.